Today we're going to talk about calmness, and we're going to follow on from yesterday's topic of emotional regulation and expand on an emotion that is necessary for you to be powerful and for you to navigate life with resilience. So there's three areas where you're going to need to have patience, and you're going to need to have a sense of calmness in the way that you react to things. First of all, with people. Second of all, with difficulties and setbacks that come. And the third is with yourself. So when we talk about patience or calmness when dealing with people, this is when you're dealing with people that are triggering, people that set you off emotionally. We mentioned last time that emotions carry power and emotions carry weight. They are energy in motion. So wherever you're putting your emotion, and especially into someone who doesn't have good intentions or who doesn't have your best interest, you are directing your emotions into that person. And so we don't want to give people with bad intentions the fuel that they need to feel better about themselves, or the fuel they need to continue hurting us. And so having a calmness will give them nothing to feed off. So when people want a reaction, when people want you to be angry, when people want you to be upset, you can be upset and you can be angry when you're in your private space, but you never show them that you're upset. You don't show them that you're triggered. You don't show your anger. You respond to them with a level of calmness, a level of patience, and grace. When you're reactive, you lose power. And the reason why we do react, the reason why we get angry with people, the reason why we get triggered is because we think that they have more power than us. We believe that they control the situation. But no one controls a situation. We can only control our reaction. And that is the most important thing. A lot of things are out of our hand. It's going to be out of our hand whether people choose to talk about us, to gossip about us, to attack us. And those things are their actions. We can't control their actions, and we can't also control people's thoughts. What we do have control is over our reaction. And the reason why they do these things is because they need the reaction and they want a reaction. And so they can point at you and say, look how bad that person is. Look, they reacted. Look, they hit back at me. The best and most powerful move is to have no reaction. The phrase, keep calm and carry on, is what you're going to do. So how we're going to reframe this is that we're going to say that reacting to people is fuel for people who have malicious intent, for people who want to destroy us, and so we don't give them that fuel. Your spiraling is their leverage, so we don't want to give them any leverage. The second area that we need to respond with calmness and we need to respond with patience is when we are afflicted with some challenge or some problem. And this is where we also start spiraling and we start reacting emotionally, and we lose our ability to rationally look at the situation and see any utility. When we're afflicted with a misfortune, all we can focus on is the loss. All we can focus on is the pain. And that is what because that's what we experience in the moment. What we're going to experience in the process is not something we can really consider. But we know that every struggle does come with growth. Pain and suffering can serve a purpose. It allows us to build strength, wisdom, and character, and we're able to make the journey of life more meaningful. Instead of looking at problems in life as problems, we can look at it and we can redefine it as a challenge. And the last area where we want to have calmness and patience is with ourselves. we are constantly growing, and there are going to be areas in your life that you feel that you're lacking. It could be you're lacking in self-confidence, it could be that you're lacking in self-worth, it could be that you are stuck in your self-development journey, and so you're finding it irritating and you're finding yourself getting frustrated with yourself. And so how I want to reframe that is that we look at ourselves as a gardener or a farmer. The harvesting skill of a farmer or a gardener requires a lot of patience, and it can be really testing. And so, how I want to look at yourself is that you're a gardener of your own life. You're you want to plant certain things, and you have a lot of seeds in place, and it might be that you want to have confidence, you want to have high self-esteem, and there's some setback, and so you just need to have patience. You're not going to grow into a strong, powerful, resilient person overnight. You're not going to grow into confidence overnight, and you need the patience. You need the patience to deal with your lack and your weaknesses and your setbacks with patience. You never stop, you never give up, and you never throw the towel in, but you continue to nurture yourself with patience and with hope that things will change. This is very difficult to do. Having patience in all of these areas with people, with challenges in life, and with yourself are areas that it's very difficult to have patience and a calmness in dealing with those things. But you will see that once you develop that calmness and that patience, you will see the fruits of your labor. You will see that reacting with anger and frustration at yourself or at life or blaming people doesn't help you, and it's not going to help the situation. Nothing changes. We have two things. There are things that we can control, and there are things that we can't. And a lot of our energy and emotions and anger goes into the things that we can't control. We can't control people, we can't control the problems in life, we can't control our setbacks, but we can control our reaction. We can control who we are and what decisions we make. We can control those things. And what we've done is, because we can't control things, we're putting so much energy into trying to control the things that are not within our control. And so, what I want to redirect us towards is controlling the things that you actually have control over, not focusing your attention on the things that you can't control, but focusing your attention on the things that you can control. And you will realize that even when in the areas that you can control something, it's so difficult. And if you can't even control yourself, how could we possibly think that we can control other people or life? We're not even able to discipline or bring control to our emotions, control to our desires. We're so out of control. And that is a skill that we need to develop. And it's a very, very important skill for us in our self-development journey, in us becoming resilient, in us becoming more powerful. So I hope this was helpful. Please like and subscribe. I'm trying to grow my channel and it's very new, and I would really appreciate the help. And I hope to see you in the next one.